Alright, fellow Threepers. Yesterday I promised Brandon Berg that I would do a quick rundown of my survival pack slash get home bag. I'll tell you right now, it's always changing. I'm not quite sure how complete it is at this point because I'm always taking things out, putting things in, changing things depending on my mood, depending on the day, depending on the weather, the seasons. But this is a basic loadout of what I would take if I'm going to go out across town for an extended period of time, like the whole day, or if I'm going to go out of town for the day. Not really tailored towards long-term plans. Like if I'm going to go somewhere for a week or so, I'd pack a lot more, a lot larger bag. This is mainly, the sole purpose of this is just to sustain me until I can get back home where all my supplies are. So let's get right into it. This is just it's a civilian backpack. It's an Osprey. I think it's a Daylight is the name of the pack. And it's fairly small. It's not heavy duty. It's not military grade, but it's very well made. Very good materials. Well-known brand. It suits my needs just perfectly, and it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb amongst the public. It's got two outside pouches here, mesh pouches where you can put water bottles or whatnot. And it's got this front upper pouch here, which is just a small pouch. And this one I keep, try and keep this all in frame. Got a Adventure medical kit. This one's the Steelhead. Pretty good size for just daily events. Set of mechanics gloves. Protect your hands. A headlamp. This is just an Energizer headlamp, and for the money, you can't go wrong with these. This one has multiple functions. They're cheap, but quality, and you can get them almost anywhere. I think this one takes 2 AAA batteries, which I do. At the time I got rechargeable AAAs in here. Let's see here. Yeah, I get multiple rechargeable AAAs, but I don't carry a recharger in here. So that's an issue I need to address. I'm going to switch those over to regular Energizer batteries and just carry multiple extra sets of disposable batteries. Here's a Silcock key for accessing water on buildings. It's an excellent thing to have. A 2-way radio. My wife carries one of these in hers too, in her bag. And this can be used, once you get within, if you're not in range already, once you get into range, you can use this to contact home. Because, one of the protocols we have in place is in the event of an emergency, whoever's at home needs to turn on our ham radio, turn on our GMRS, FRS radios, and I'm working on getting a CV system set up too, turn that on, and monitor those for contact. Here's a little Lansky puck, sharpening stone. It's got a coarse side and a fine side. Ideally, this is for axes and hatchets, machetes, but it works well on knives too. That's it for that area. Then I got the main pouch here. In the main pouch, I got a bunch of things. I like these little pouches here. These are from Kifaru. They're quality. They're not cheap, but they're really good quality. I keep the Sawyer Mini in here. Water filter. Look up the specs on those. They're well worth the money. They average $19 to $25 on Amazon. I suggest having multiples. This is just a spare dry bag that I keep so I can put stuff in, like clothing. Right now, I've got this little, I think this is Esbit. Let's see here. Yeah, this is an Esbit cook set. Nice little cook set. It's nothing fancy, nothing expensive. This comes with the pot, the lid, and they got a couple different versions in this. They got one that's got you know, a fancier lid that doubles as a cup. But this one comes with a little stove stand. I'm not going to pull it all out, but you can see it. Little stove stand, little fuel tablets. That'll keep you going for a long enough period of time that you can probably get yourself home. Use that for boiling water, or if you put some dried food in here, like some Mountain House or something like that, you can use it for cooking up that. Or if you carry coffee or cocoa and stuff like that, it's great for heating up water for that. But once again, I mean, not an expensive set, but it does the job very well. What else we got here? This is Adventure Medical SOL Escape Bivy. This is their top of the line one, the most expensive one, which last time I checked was probably in the $20–30 range. But this is the most reusable one. It's basically made of like a Tyvek material, so it breathes, and out of this whole line of equipment for their bivvies, it's the only one that has that feature. It's the only one that breathes, so it won't trap, or it's not supposed to trap condensation inside it, which can be an issue if it gets cold at night and you're trying to bed down in one of these. All the other ones, you're going to sweat inside them, and it's going to stay there. You're going to get wet. You're going to get cold. This one will breathe. This one will keep you more warm, and I think it's the best option out of all the ones that they offer. Not the cheap ones, but well worth it. Okay, anybody that knows anything about wilderness survival knows that you should always have a steel water bottle. Purpose of the steel water bottle, obviously to carry your water, but also you can disinfect water with this. You put questionable water in it, bring it to a boil, let it cool down, it's good to drink. Some people will say you need to boil it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Generally speaking, once it hits a boil, it's been above the temperature required to kill pathogens long enough that you shouldn't have to worry about it. You know, people can argue with me all day long about that, but the science is the science. If you're concerned about it, boil it longer. It comes down to that. Stainless steel cup to go with it, nesting cup, so you can pour water off into it. You don't have to drink directly from the bottle. And you can use your stainless steel bottle too for making char cloth. Take the lid all the way off so it doesn't melt. Put your cotton material in there. Set this next to your fire and your coals. Put a rock over top of it to keep as much oxygen out as possible, and it burns off all. It makes charred cloth that you can use for starting fires in the future. I'll see if I can post up a video on how that's done. It's a pretty good trick to learn. Here we got another SOL. I like Adventure Medical stuff. You know, for the money, they put out a pretty good product. This one is the Heat Sheets Survival Blanket, 1 to 2 person. It's like a better quality space blanket. That's probably the best way to put it. Nothing more, nothing less. Just a little more durable than your average space blanket. And carry a Baco Laplander saw. These things are indispensable. For the money, one of the best hand saws on the market. The Silky saws are really good too, and you can get bigger versions of the Silky saws. They're more expensive. This gets the job done just fine. Tard bank line. I think this is number 36 bank line. I like the size of it, the dimension. And you can break the cord down into, I believe, 2 other strands, 2 other smaller strands that are spun together. Watch when you're buying bank line though, guys and gals. Good bank line is tarred as it's rolled on. The cheap bank line is tarred after it's rolled on. And generally not all the cordage is covered by the coating. So watch when you're buying the stuff that you're getting good stuff. The only brand that I would actually stake my word on would be a brand called Catahoula. You can get it on Amazon. In here I got some jute twine stuffed in there. Jute twine is great for fire starting. It catches a spark really well once it's been shredded up and fluffed up. Mora Companion fixed blade knife. Now, generally speaking, I'd want a full tang knife where the metal goes all the way down through the handle. These Moras are what they call a rat tail tang, and it comes to right about there inside the handle, inside the molding. But these things are amazing knives. They're going to run you anywhere from $10 to $20, and for the money, it is by far the best outdoor survival knife you can get your hands on. They're cheap enough that if you break one, if you knock the crap out of the blade, out of the edge, and you just don't want to mess with it, go buy another one, because they're that affordable. But as far as doing common tasks in a survival situation, you can't beat this size, this geometry, the type of blade it is. This one's a high carbon steel blade, and I make sure that the back spine is a sharp 90-degree angle on the edges for scraping a ferro rod. And the reason I like the carbon steel blade is you can use a rock and knock sparks off the back. That's a trick or a skill that takes a lot of practice to get a good feel for, but that's neither here nor there. This is just a good knife for the money. And we got this little fire kit that I put together. I got a bunch of these. It's just an Altoids tin. I got some waxed cotton makeup pads in there. A couple wet fires, tinder tabs, and a little Bic lighter. You know, a lot of people knock the Bic lighters saying, oh, they're not reliable and stuff like that. You know what? They're cheap. You know, you get what you pay for, but they're cheap. And when they are working good, when you can make them work good, it's a hell of a lot easier than trying to strike a ferro rod. Hell of a lot easier than trying to use a bow drill fire or anything like that. So don't knock the Bic lighters. Get a bunch of them. You can afford it. They're cheap. Multi-tool. This is just a inexpensive Gerber one. Gerber suspension. It works just fine. One thing I do like about the Gerber suspensions is it's got the spring, so it returns open. Where a lot of your multi-tools, you got to actually push them back open. And it's got a lot of different features. I'm not going to go through them right now. It's stout, it's beefy in the hand, it's got good jaws on it, good pliers. I prefer to have a needle nose plier for doing fine tasks, and then a good inset jaw like that for doing heavier tasks. And who else we got in here? I think Brandon said something about these in his video. These are from the Pathfinder School, or Self-Reliance Outfitters, Dave Canterbury's company. He came up with these. These are, I think these are called Micro Infernos. They're micro or mini Infernos, one of the two. He's got two products similar to this. One of them is the little round ones that look like a cigarette butt. But these things, they're just fuel impregnated pads. Smells almost like they got a little bit of lamp oil in them, and they will take a spark like nothing else. They're excellent at taking a spark. You scratch the surface, fluff it up, and hit it with a ferro rod or hit it with your Bic lighter or whatever. The thing will burn. Can't remember what the burn time is, but it's probably 2 to 5 minutes easily. And that's more than enough time to get your tinder started and give you a jump start on making your fire. It helps ensure your success on thermal regulating. Excellent thing to have. I don't know the price off the top of my head. You can look it up on their website. It's Self-Reliance Outfitters, and I think they even sell these on Amazon. They're affordable. Trust me with that. Here, this is the ferro rod that I like to keep in my bags, in my survival bags or my get home bags, because it's contained This is made by United Survival Technologies. It's called the Strike Force. It's got a little container there where you can put a wet fire fuel tab. And then this just opens up like this. Your striker's right there. It's got a big, fat ferro rod. And this thing will throw sparks like nothing. These things are excellent. I recommend having a bunch of these. Let's see, I think that's it for the main compartment. And up here, you can carry some shelter materials. This is just a, I think it's like a grabber, the kind that's got the reflective material on one side, and then just your regular plastic material on the other side. And I put 550 cord on each corner for tie-outs. Pretty self-explanatory. Key to a lot of this stuff is you don't have to go expensive. You know, this is tried and true stuff. You'll see this all over the place. You'll see videos all over YouTube where they use this stuff. 55-gallon contractor trash liners. It's great for laying down on the ground underneath your shelter. Keeps the moisture, it acts as a moisture barrier. You can also fill it full of plant material, you know, like pine boughs and stuff like that to create a bed. And keep a handful of these stakes. I think these are the MSR. Well, let's just take a look here. They're called groundhogs. Yeah, MSR groundhogs. They're light little aluminum stakes. They don't weigh anything, and they're tough as nails. They got that triangular blade design with a little cup on each blade. They bite into the ground and they stay there. And then that's just an extra strap for the pack. That's it for the contents. Oh, and to round out the cutting devices, got a Schrade. I think this is the SEX. Not entirely sure which model, because they make two of them. One's short and one's long. This is the SEX 2L. That's an excellent little hand axe. It's got a nice pommel on the back. It's got teeth on it, so it'll grab your stakes. Won't deflect off as easily. Nice blade geometry. Good finish coating on it. It's got a polymer handle. And they stick another ferro rod in the handle of these things with little O-rings that hold it in place. And it's a good quality ferro rod too. It'll throw a good spark. So as long as those O-rings don't fail and that stays in there nice and tight, you'll always have a ferro rod on you if you have this thing. But that's it. That's what I carry in this little pack. Not a lot to it. Nothing overly complex. Nothing expensive, really. Anybody can put together a kit like this, and I'd recommend keeping it in your car or taking it in your car if you're going out on extended outings for the day, or if you're going to leave town for the day but not go too far away. Like I said before, if you're going to go out for more than a few days, if you're going to leave town or go an extended distance, pack a bigger pack. Take this pack and use it as your core, and then pack other things around it. Put this into like a duffel bag, and then add clothes, bigger cook kit, food, more water, stuff like that. You know, just grow this pack out. You know, increase your options and your capabilities. If anybody has any questions about any of this stuff, shoot me some messages. I'm more than happy to answer questions. And if you ever want to get together and go over this equipment and figure out how to build your own kit, just let me know. All right.